Hello again, this is Michael Wojcik with a City Council update for September 8th, 2010. Three items I'm going to get to, should be relatively quick. At this meeting we had to consider the destruction of a dog named Texas, whether or not the dog was vicious, and I don't know whether or not entirely the dog is vicious or everything that we heard was necessarily true. The only thing I can say with great certainty is the dog owners were absolutely awful, and they should have never been allowed to have a dog in the first place, and there's nothing we can do in the city of Rochester to prevent a dog owner, a bad dog owner, from getting another dog. I think Texas is unfortunately the victims of some pretty poor owners. I don't believe they're bad dogs, just bad dog owners, and I think that's what happened in this case. Went over to the pound to see the dog in question before the meeting, played with the dog a little bit. I was not terribly in fear of my life or anything from this dog. I do think that it needs some socialization, but it's unfortunate that an owner would get a dog like a German Shepherd that has particular needs and then neglect those needs the way that these particular owners did. So the net of it is we decided not to destroy the dog. The dog is listed as a dangerous dog, and we'll have to probably be taken somewhere that allows that meets the criteria for handling a dangerous dog. Things like there has to be insurance bonding of a certain amount, and the dog has to be tracked and kept under control, things like that. But hopefully there's at least a shelter that can take this dog. My second hope is that these owners don't go out and get another dog. And I did specifically ask this question to the city attorney. It is in fact possible that the city council can put a dog down. However, state law expressly forbids us from putting the owners down. So that's the constraints that we have to live with. Second item, we had the assessments for Villa and Chateau Road. A little summary of what happened in the past. By a 5-2 vote, the city council decided that rather than building a separate pedestrian trail to allow the hundreds of people that traverse through the 55th Street Estates, a poorly designed, conceptualized, and located neighborhood, rather than giving them a separate safe path, we're going to instead put a path right on the road where we have speeding traffic. Not something I'm particularly proud of. I think that we basically did a great disservice to public safety and the kids in this community. I somehow doubt that a tricycle riding on in a bicycle lane is going to be adequately protected from a speeding truck by a 4-inch white line, but that is exactly what the city council decided to do, and I think it was absolute pandering to the people who lived in that neighborhood. I think it's absolutely inappropriate, and I'm ashamed that we did it. But I thank Mark Bilderbeck for also having the foresight to vote with me against that ridiculous what they call compromise, but really it's pandering to the neighborhood. We had the ability to put in a safe path, but we didn't do that, and instead we're just going to paint some lines on a busy, narrow road, and expect that to keep our kids safe. That's just, I'm just ashamed of that. Finally, the third thing that I wanted to talk about was, let me find my notes here, the dead time on camera, always exciting. Now, if I wasn't lazy, I'd just edit this out. Number of liquor license downtown. This is something that we subsequently had a number of meeting on. We had a meeting on number of the off-sale license, which is actually liquor stores, for example, and basically our criteria was always that we'd allow one license per 4,000 homes based on the last census. Well, the last census has Rochester's population at like 86,000 people. Obviously, we're closer to 104 today. So the idea, what I proposed is instead of changing the number of licenses that we allow, instead of using the census report, let's use the state demographer's estimate of population, and that basically freed up some license. We actually had a business that wanted to start up, and he wasn't able to get a license. So because we made that little change, we'll be able to get the license. There's a whole other issue coming up with the number of bars downtown, and I think that that's something the Downtown Alliance is doing a nice job of taking care of some of the issues that we have with the bars down there. But I'm not as concerned about the number of bars as much as I am with just making sure the bars that we have are responsible. So that's it for the September 8th, 2010 City Council update. I'm getting ready for the meeting this week. I'm very excited. After 7 years of being delayed by certain lobbying organizations in the city, we're actually going to have a city tree ordinance come before us, and I hope the City Council has the foresight and the backbone to actually pass it. I always appreciate your comments. Hope you find these informative. Thank you very much.